topic for tonight is the application of finding the greatest common factor, and that is factoring polynomials with common monomial factor. So, how to do this? There are 3 steps. First, find the GCF. Second, divide each term of the polynomial by the GCF. Then lastly, multiply the GCF and the result of your step 2. Okay, let's have some examples about factoring polynomials with a common monomial factor. Okay, our first example is 3x squared plus 6x. Let us factor these polynomials with common monomial factor. So our first step in factoring this kind of polynomial is to find the GCF. Step 1. And in order to find the GCF, we also have the 3 steps. First, factor the numerical coefficients. So the numerical coefficients are 3 and 6. 3, 6. Prime factorization. Since 3 is already a prime number, so there's no need to factor it. Then 6, the factors of 6 are 3 and 2. And now, let's find out what are the common factors of 3 and 6 based on this result. So we have here 3 and 3. So this is their common factor of their numerical coefficient. Now let's proceed to the literal coefficients. We have here x squared and x. They have the same variable, but they differ in their exponent. And we are going to use the variable or the literal coefficient which has the smallest exponent, and that is x. And lastly, multiply the result in step 1 and the result in step 2. So that is 3 times x. So the GCF is 3x. Now, let's proceed to step 2 in factoring. Step 2 in factoring polynomials is divide each term by the GCF. Since we have 2 terms, so we will divide each term by this. So the first term, 3x squared divided by 3x. Then the second term, plus 6x divided by 3x. Okay, how to divide? Divide the numerical coefficient of the dividend by the numerical coefficient of the divisor. So that would be 3 divided by 3 is equal to 1. And for the literal coefficient, if they have the same base, like this one, x and x, you have to subtract their exponent. And in some case, where there is no written exponent, it is understood to be 1. So this would be 2 minus 1, and copy the same base, x. Then for the second term, plus, the same way, 6 divided by 3 is 2, and x divided by x is 1. Why? Because there is understood to be, there is an exponent here, 1, then 1. Copy the same base, x, 1 minus 1. Simplify. If the numerical coefficient is 1, it is okay if you will not write 1. So, proceed to the variable or the literal coefficient. So that would be x, 2 minus 1 is 1, so no need to write 1 in the exponent, plus 2, x raised to 1 minus 1 is 0, x raised to 0. Any number or variable raised to 0 is just equal to 1. So this one is just equal to 1. So the final answer would be x plus 2 times. Because if there is no operation between these two expressions, that is understood to be times. So 1 is equal to x plus 2. So the result of our step 2 is x plus 2. Now let's proceed to step 3. step 3 is to express the polynomial or express the result of step 1 times the result of step 2. So step 1, 3x times step 2, x plus 2. So this is the factored form. Another example is we have 16a raised to 4 plus 2a. So factor the given polynomial. First step is to find the GCF. In order to find the GCF, factor first the numerical coefficient. So the numerical coefficients are 16 and 2. Using the prime factorization, 16 can be factored 4 times 4. Then 4 is still factorable. That would be 2 times 2. Then 4, 2 times 2. And 2 is already a prime number. So the common factor of 16 and 2 is 2. So you write it down. Then after that, let's proceed to the literal coefficient. A raised to 4 and a. They have the same variable and the smallest exponent is 1. So this is the common factor. Multiply 2 times a. The GCF is 2a. Step 2. Divide each term by the GCF. So we have 16a raised to 4 divided by 2a plus the second term 2a divided by 2a. Divide the numerical coefficient. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Then they have the same base a, copy a. Subtract the exponent. 4 minus, understood to be 1, 1. Plus 2 divided by 2 is 1. A divided by a, copy a. 1 minus 1. So that is 8a. 4 minus 1 is 3 plus 1 a raised to 0. As I said a while ago, any number or variable raised to 0 is just equal to 1. So this would be 8a cubed plus 1 times 1 is 1. So that is the result of step 2. Now, let's proceed to step 3. Multiply the result of step 1 and the result of step 2. So that is 2a times, enclosed with parentheses because the result is more than one term. 8a cubed plus 1. So this is the factored form of this. Third example, we have 20b squared minus 35b minus 15b cubed. Okay, so how many terms do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. 3 terms. So we have to factor this 3-term polynomial. First step, find the GCF. Factor the numerical coefficients. We have 20, 35, and 15. Using the prime factorization, 20 can be factored to 5 and 4. And then 4 is still factorable. That would be 2 times 2. And these are the prime factors of 20. And then 35 can still be factored to 7 and 5. So these are already prime factors. 15 is equal to 5 times 3. So we will look for the common factor. So that would be 5, 5, 5. So you write it down. Then 2. There is no 2 here. So this is our greatest common factor for the numerical coefficient. How about for the literal coefficient? We have b squared, b cubed. They have the same variable and the smallest exponent is 1. So this is the common factor. In order to find the GCF, multiply 5 and b. So that would be 5b. Step 2. Divide each term by the GCF. First term, 20b squared divided by 5b. Second term, copy the same sign. 35b over 5b. Third term, minus 15b cubed divided by 5b. Now, let us proceed to division. 20 divided by 5 is 4. b squared divided by b, copy the same base, b. Then 2 minus 1. Copy minus 35 divided by 5, 7. Copy b. 1 minus 1. Minus 15 divided by 5 is 3. Copy b. 3 minus 1. Simplify. Copy 4. b. 2 minus 1 is 1, so no need to write 1. Minus 7. b. 1 minus 1 is 0. Minus 3. b. 3 minus 1 is 2. So 4b minus 7, as I said, any number or variable raised to 0 is equal to 1. So that would be negative 7 times 1, which is still equal to negative 7. Minus 3b squared. So this is the result of our step 2. Step 3, multiply the result of our step 1 and the result of step 2. So that would be 5b times 4b minus 7 minus 3b squared. Or you can also arrange this in decreasing exponent or from largest exponent to smallest, but they are still equal. So you can also have this one, 5b times negative 3b squared plus 4b minus 7.